Hello, Rachna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Rachna. Hello, Mizyan. Can you guys hear me? I'm just
Hello,
checking if
yes,
I'm
I can
audible.
hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Okay. I'll just wait for a few more minutes because there are more people joining. And I'm also doing a recording in case anybody wants to see it afterwards also. I can share that recording on your email.
Thank you.
Hi, Aarti. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you? What's happening?
Aarti, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
I can hear Aarti.
Because my volume is okay.
1 second. I think I am audible because Mizyan was responding.
No, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you, Aarti. I can't.
I'll join again.
Maybe try connecting back again. Hello, Jyoti. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Hi.
Can you hear me,
Hi.
Jyoti? I just need some
Yes.
confirmation. Yeah? Okay, great.
Yes.
No worries. And guys, it's not going to be a lot of people, so it's okay if you can come on video also. It's a small group. I mean, I am expecting a lot of people, but I don't know how many can actually make it. So I'm doing the recordings. But yeah, because I would want a minute from all of you to tell me if you are in the profession of counseling, coaching, therapy, psychology, anything of that sort. So I have an understanding of your background also. Or are you looking to heal yourself? If not, so just a bit of introduction. But I'll still wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. Aarti,
Can you hear me now?
can't hear you.
I
Are you
don't know.
connecting from laptop? Check your volume or those settings.
Actually, I can hear her very well.
Can anyone else hear me?
No,
Yes.
I don't know. I can't hear you. I know you're trying to say something. Hello, Rumi.
Hi, how are you?
Guys, you can come on video, huh? So that I know I'm
Y-
talking to a human.
Yeah, I will. Just trying to figure out where
I
is
have
it.
that knack of connecting from face to face. Yeah. Thank you, Rumi. Yeah. And can you hear me? Am I audible? Yeah. Okay, great. Tina.
हाँ हाँ दुपट्टे चाहिए
Hello, Tina. Thank you for joining. And maybe
Hi.
during the
साड़ी
conversation that we are having, if
देखिए
any of you feel
आप ही
comfortable, please
बताते
come on the video. I want to see faces
साड़ी
also so that I can relate to it. And you can relate. I mean, I am on video, so you can relate to me anyways. Yes, thank you, Tina. Now I can see a human in front of me. Okay. I'll probably give just 1 more minute. Otherwise, I'll start.
Am I
So
audible?
if somebody wants to talk about just a minute of introduction of exactly what do you do? Are you in some form of healing journey, or do you offer healing services to anybody else in any capacity? And then you want to build up on whatever you're doing on an existing level and deepen your practice. So I just want to know where you stand in your life right now in terms of your personal space, because we know we are all sort of working on ourselves all the time. And while we are working, we are also struggling with certain things in our life. There could be certain challenges that you feel, oh my God, no matter what I do, it doesn't get better. I keep doing this from logical space or from therapeutic space or whatever alternative remedies you think of, and something about it doesn't seem to get better. So that something could be related to relationships, that something could be related to health, something could be about how you see yourself internally, like on an emotional or mental or spiritual aspect. So, whatever that something is, um, I mean, through family constellation, I would say we are able to look at that, because most of us are never really free from things that have happened in a family systems, and seriously nobody has been able to look at it. Could be secrets, could be hidden patterns, could be very limiting beliefs, could be a very karmic cycle that everybody has experienced and nobody knows what to do about it. So, any of those things, the denser stuff that we all go through, our families go through, and we don't know what to do about it, family constellation has an answer, not just an answer, but a solution towards it. So, if you can just tell me very quickly, like in one or two sentences, what do you guys do? Okay, so Ms. Yan is saying I can't speak, but this is my intro. My name is Ms. Yan, and I'm a freelance coach. Uh, got my NLP, Hypno, and few other certifications helping people past. Yeah, absolutely. That's great, because I also need to do a little bit of analysis on the kind of people that would want to learn this kind of program, because anybody who's very, very new to the healing world may not be able to really understand constellation, because it really is deep inner work, and not just in your subconscious mind, but it goes into the subconscious and soul of your family field, and not just your family field, but in the collective consciousness also. So that is why I say it's for those people who are already on some form of inner journey, and they're offering something of that sort to other people, like in supporting other people on their path in whatever capacity is possible for them, and now they want to build and have something much more deeper, much more comprehensive. So I'll give you an example. If somebody has been taking coaching therapy, coaching sessions and therapies or any energy work for about a long time, and they've been taking sessions after sessions, and things are not really getting better, with just few sessions of family constellation, things begin to really transform. And they seem to be able to jump certain level of timelines in very short period of time, right? So that is the beauty of yeah, Tina is saying I'm interested in FC2, warm through certain patterns. Yes, absolutely. Because I know as a healer, as a therapist myself, that until and unless family constellation didn't happen with me, because I used to practice Reiki, I used to practice EFT, and then hypnotherapy as well. And then I was still in that space within my own personal space as well, where things were not sorted out, and I was still looking for a sustainable answer to my issues. And that's when I am so thankful to the universe. That's when family constellation happened. And ever since then, it's been 8 years now. Ever since then, I have never been able to not get a healing or not get a support, not get a solution through family constellation. And it is my one go to tool for any clientele issue that comes in my space. So any client can come with any aspect of their life, and family constellation has an answer and solution to it. So if somebody asks me, Shaisar, what is your niche? What are you really good at? I'm good at everything. So I can say that confidently now. I work with health issues and diseases, chronic ailments very comfortably, because through systemic healing, through constellation work, we can understand the deeper aspects of where that chronic issue is coming from. And it gives a solution, it gives a healing very profoundly. I mean, it has to be experienced. And then relationship issues or conflicts with couples, and somebody comes and says that I can't manifest the right partner. I keep on attracting these people who are very toxic, or who do not seem to understand me, all unavailable partners, and I don't know the reason. Okay, or somebody would come and say that my child is having behavioral issue, or I'm having eating disorders, or I'm having suicidal thoughts. I mean, I've had all these multiple kind of situations in my clientele practice, and I've been able to offer something sustainable to them through this work in a very short period of time. That's the beauty of family constellation. You don't need 10 sessions or even 6, 7 sessions to deal with a situation. Sometimes only 1 or 2, 3 sessions are enough. Okay, so sorry for the very quick introduction, but I would like you guys to tell me where are you with your practice or in your personal journey, or any challenge you would want to work with through family constellations. Aarti, I know you're having sound issues. You can't. Just try saying hi.
I'm not audible.
No, you're still not
Can
audible.
anyone else hear me?
I can't hear you. So yeah,
Others
I
can
can
hear
hear
me
her.
actually.
I can hear you.
Okay, can anybody try and speak so that I can know if I can hear anybody, any one of you?
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is something on my side. Just one second. It's a problem on my end, guys. Sorry.
So in the meanwhile, I'll start. Maybe she knows me, so I'll just start
Yes.
by introducing myself.
Yes.
Can I start here? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I had plugged my mic and I think my mic was not working. Okay, go on. Yes, Aarti.
Yeah, so I'm a hypnotherapist and a coach, and I've learned many, many modalities from NLP to EFT. Hypnotherapy also has so many different more protocols, and so I've learned that for many years, and I practice it with my clients. It's been 13 years. And as a part of like my self development and also having like multiple tools that I can use it with my clients, I always kind of add on one or the other modalities to my practice. And family constellation is one, because again, it's like when you're dealing with one person's subconscious mind and where they are picking up from. Even in my experience working with many clients, they have had issues of anxiety and fears and all, not because they experienced it, but because their mother experienced it in the childhood,
Yes, absolutely.
or they experienced that in the womb, because the mother was not sure about the pregnancy, mother was not sure,
Absolutely.
or mother
Yeah.
was absolutely fearful about something,
Hmm.
and they just got it from there.
Hmm.
So I already had this background, and I think that's where like family constellation really kind of fits in, that how uninterrupted patterns in the family gets repeated and everybody faces the same issue.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, Aarti, for saying that. Anybody else? Jyoti?
Well, I am doing some healings, but not as a professional. I just do it for my friends or family.
Yeah.
But mainly, I'm looking for my own healing journey.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to add to that that when somebody comes and okay, Rachna, just let me just finish and then you can speak. So when somebody comes and trains for family constellation, they also get a lot of personal healing done throughout the process. So I've got 4 modules, and each module just about when anybody comes and finishes module 1 and they are with me for module 2, they have already started seeing the transformation right from module 1. Okay, and so that's one of the reason why they are segregated in that way, and there is always a gap of about 1.5 months, so that whatever healing sessions they've gone through in each module, there is a time to integrate what came up for them. So there's a lot of personal healing that goes in family constellation trainings all the time, and that is one of the reason why I call family constellation training as a journey of you uncovering yourself, discovering who you really are at a very, very deeper level, and really being able to offer that to your clients after you become a practitioner. of family constellation. So a lot of healing happens in that. It's not just theory, it's so experiential, it's mind blowing once you really get into it. You will never be able to see yourself. You will never be able to see any other person you come in interaction with after that the same way. You will be able to also decode a lot of things that are happening in your personal space. Something that has never made sense to you. Why does my mother does this? Why does my father does this? Why is this pattern existing in my family? Why do I attract this money block, for example? Why does my business doesn't get better? My coaching business is not flourishing. I mean, we get all those answers through family constellation in a very, very short period of time, and a lot of healing, a lot of transformation happens. So truly, it's a transformational, and it's not just a therapy. It's a way of life that we have all forgotten. So we start connecting with the true way of life that our families have forgotten, we had forgotten, because through constellation, we also understand the universal laws. We have heard of these laws, and most of the laws are those that we have never really heard of anywhere. I will talk about that after you guys have done the introduction, but there's so many laws that we at a personal, at a familial, at a community level we violate, and we are not even aware of them, and the repercussions, the consequences of them obviously are always there, but we are not aware of them. Even with all the good intentions, we violate those laws, and because nobody knows about them, let's be honest. So through constellation you become aligned with the universal laws, and you become a very different version of you, something that you may have never thought you would be. So there's a lot of transformation that really goes on with this work. Yes, Rachna, so sorry I was putting you on hold. Now you can continue. Yeah, tell me.
No, I'll just introduce myself. My
Sure.
name is Rachna Natraj.
Hmm.
I'm a banker by profession,
Hmm.
and I've done my healing modalities. I'm a Reiki master, a
Hmm.
master in Akashic records,
Hmm.
and crystal healing and theta healing also I've learned.
Hmm.
I do it part time currently. Like on weekends, I have appointments with clients, and
Yeah, very
I
cool. Hmm.
this. So I've also done my doctorate in healing studies.
Hmm.
So yes, this is something that I would like to in my healing communities,
Beautiful. Yes.
have these family constellations. Obviously, I'm through Akashic. Last 1 year, I've been doing a lot of inner work
Hmm.
within myself,
Hmm.
shadow work and inner work. I've been
Hmm.
doing for
Hmm.
myself, and that has kind of elevated me in helping other people also through this journey.
Hmm.
So, in short, this is my
Oh, that's so
introduction.
amazing. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. That's the
yeah,
kind of people who should take constellation trainings
yeah,
and deepen their work with whatever they're doing. And you can easily
yeah.
integrate it with anything else that you're also. So there's a lot of NLP
Correct.
within family constellation. There is an aspect of that
Okay.
already. So, I mean,
Great.
I have also been able to beautifully merge my work with anything else that I was practicing before or after that. So that is never an issue. It's like you add up something amazing to whatever you are existingly doing right now. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Currently, also for my clients, I don't stick to any one modality.
Yeah.
I do the mix of all of whatever I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It becomes a beautiful blend of whatever you are practicing. Okay. Rumi, Gitanjali.
Hi
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shall I
go ahead,
start?
Rumi.
Okay.
Okay. I'm also into a healing journey. I'm a
Okay.
pranic healer, but yes, I also don't do it professionally. I do it for my family, my friends,
Yeah.
and personally, I'm also into a healing journey, and I can see I have experimented a lot of things,
Hmm.
and I still see that there are a lot of things which I need to work on. Not
Absolutely.
only, and I can see in my family also a lot of things.
Hmm.
I have teenage daughters. I can see a lot of things which are in me are reflected in them
Yes.
also. So
Yes.
which is not very positive, and I want to understand from where it has come so
Yeah.
that I
And
can
how to
heal
dissolve
myself.
it. How to also
Yeah,
dissolve it.
yes, I can heal myself and I can help them also.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
this is
Absolutely.
my main. So I would love to learn more on that
Yes,
so that
I mean
I
it's
understand
something
myself.
we can do it for the next generation. My entire inspiration out into what I practice and what I believe in and what I offer to other people is because of my need to be able to do something for my own generation also. And I see a lot of beautiful ripple effect in my system, especially the next generation, my children, my niece, nephews. I mean, I see them coming from a very different place, because and they thank me, for example, to be able to do that for them, and to have been able to break the cycles. That's so important, to be able to break the cycles, because we understand there are certain patterns that we are observing, but then we don't know what else can be done. So Constellation gives that very concrete solution in a very compassionate, non-judgmental way, and release it. So the effect is dissolved. Thank you so much, Rumi. Gitanjali?
Hi everyone. Hi Shaista.
Hi.
I'm an NLP trainer myself. So I do private sessions with people, as well as I train people and certify them
Hmm.
in NLP, master NLP, hypnotherapy, all of that.
Hmm.
And yeah, one of the biggest learning, like NLP, is all about learnings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one of the biggest learnings I had, like my first breakthrough, when I had like, okay, now I have a choice going
Hmm.
forward,
Hmm.
for me, myself, and the next generation.
Hmm.
So it's just out of curiosity I'm here.
Hmm.
Any way of reflecting onto what can be healed is, I think, it should be known to people.
Absolutely.
And different people are, have different comfort levels within their healing journey. Some
Hmm.
people open up this way, some people open up the other way.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to have multiple tools, in our toolbox.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
So that you
just
you you offer something sustainable to your clients, right? And it
correct.
gives you
Yeah,
so much of fulfillment,
right.
something that you will not be able to get otherwise, right? It
Yeah,
comes from a place of authenticity. I
correct.
truly, honestly believe that as healers, therapists, coaches, we really need to come from a place of genuine authenticity. And after we have really, really deeply worked on ourselves, otherwise we are just offering superficial, I mean, it doesn't sit well with us, and it doesn't sit well with our clients also. And there is always that feeling, oh, I could have done something better, you know.
Honestly, I have realized that it just happens, like whether you want it or not.
Hmm.
While you are healing your clients, you heal automatically.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It's
There is
always
no choice.
there is no choice, and you keep on attracting clients, especially around the time when you're trying to figure out something of your own, and
Yeah,
boom, another client appears, and the situation is so much similar
100%.
around it.
It's so nice to meet people who are going through such a similar
Yeah,
journey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I call it magic of mirroring. I don't know if it's a word or not, but it's more of a mirroring that happens.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gitanjali. Safa, thank you so much for joining. If you can just quickly tell us, what do you do? Just one or two statements, and then I'll take it forward. Safa, are you there? Okay, that's fine. Maybe there's something not okay. No issues. Safa, you can write down, huh, if you don't want to talk about it right now. Okay, so let me get deepen into the universal laws that I was talking about, because it's a mini class. So I do want to talk about fundamental thing that we get to learn in family constellation. It's a kind of lost wisdom. It's also termed as lost wisdom of our ancestors. So our ancestors centuries ago probably knew about all this. And then things started shifting. Probably some traumas happened, like wars and migrations and famine, or starvation, or loss of land, loss of identities, that I really actually talk about in my trainings also. So that happened, and that made people get disconnected from themselves and disconnected from their family. So I'll give you a very quick example. Let's say there was colonization, which was an issue centuries ago. People were colonized from one place to another. Their independence, their freedom was taken away from them. So those men who were fighting such colonizers or such atrocities or injustices were actually lost. So when men lost their, I would say, strength, their freedom, their masculinity, families thereon, after that, after such experiences, could never bond or connect with one another like they used to. Okay, this happened collectively on the planet. And this had happened centuries or centuries over a period of time. It's like a repetitive of certain cycles that continued karmically for generations after generations after generations. And because of the healing that has started taking place since few decades, like 30, 40 years ago, people started waking up more so lately, like I would say after pandemic or just about before pandemic, people started waking up, started seeing that something is not okay within themselves or within their families. So through family constellation, we are able to see why families have been disconnected from one another. Why, instead of having unconditional love between parents and children, there has been a lot of conditioning. There has been a lot of expectations, and we call it attachment. Those are not attachment. They have been, uh, we have been raised by parents who expected a lot from us, and we could probably not meet their expectations also. Okay, so through constellation, we just not work on our personal childhood trauma, like an inner child, right? We just don't dive deep into that. We also go into the depth of our family systems, often 3, 4, 5 generations ago, even if we do not remember the history, if even if nobody has spoken about it in the family field, when we are having a constellation done, things begin to come to the surface through the knowing field. It's called the knowing field. We have a field of information around us which never forgets anything that has happened in our personal life or in the life of our ancestors. So, through the knowing field, and scientifically, this field of information is also called morphogenic field of information. It has been scientifically proven that there is a field of information, morphogenic field of information. There are books written on that by scientists themselves who verify that there is this miraculous field of information, very mysterious field of information around us that remembers, that knows what happened. And in day-to-day life, we actually cannot tap into it unless and until we have a constellation session, or we bump into a facilitator who does family constellation, who has been trained and attuned with this knowing field, and can see the subtle signs that are being revealed by the knowing field of your family system. So there could be so many tragedies, so many traumas. I'll give an example of my clientele space as well. Just recently, I had this student who was also having a personal session through me. And she said that, Shaista, I asked her, what do you want to work on? And she said that, Shaista, I have a husband. I don't have children right now. And no matter what I do, I feel as if I need to have an access to his bank account. Okay, this was her situation. I need to have an access to my husband's bank account. We need to have a joint family, like a husband-wife joint bank account. I said, what is the need behind it? Why is that an emphasis? And whenever she talks about that to her husband, something about that triggers the husband. The husband doesn't want to have a joint account with her. Okay. And the moment, and I asked her, what does this make you feel? And there are these classic questions that we ask in family constellations. And what she said was, if this does not happen, I feel scared. I feel powerless. I feel as if, what will happen if I lose my husband and my children? And I will have no support. I will be on the road, and I will have to struggle for basic necessities for me and my children, even though she does not have children. And this has been going on for many years now. So through constellation, when I started the session, what came up was fourth generation. So her great grandmother had lost her husband, which was a great grandfather, accidentally through some illness, and were left behind with 5 or 6 children. One of them was a grandfather of my client. And her fear of losing a husband was actually an event, a tragedy that her great grandmother went through. Even though she had not met her great grandmother, she had heard of these stories, but she didn't know that this tragedy of her great grandmother was still having an effect on her, and so having an effect on the relationship with her husband. She cannot relax as a feminine. She wants to have a control over the finances because something of that tragedy has already happened in her system. So she's more prone to it. She's more predisposition to it, right? There's more sensitivity to such certain events. Okay. So these are some of the kind of cases that we work with. I'll give you a very quick another example. And then towards the end, we'll also do a group process so that you have some understanding about what is Shaista talking about. I can go on and on with this. And I love talking, by the way. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can please raise your hand and I'll explain if there's any question. Okay. I remember one of my clients, she was in her late teens. She messaged me, this was during pandemic, and she said that I want to have a session on the fact that during every menstrual cycle, so every month, she has this very weird thought of harming herself. So she wants to harm herself. She feels like cutting herself or having suicidal thoughts. And she was like, I'm not doing anything as such practically, but that fear consumes me. I feel like harming myself and I don't know why. Okay. Bear in mind that in constellation, we understand and get to hear the answers to our whys of our life. So all the whys that we all go through, why does this happen? Why? Constellation has an answer plus a healing solution and resolution towards it. So in her session, what came up through the process was that so her mother believed in having only 2 children. Okay. And when the mother got pregnant with a third child, yeah, Aarti, yes, go on.
No, I mean, finish your
Yeah.
whatever the case
Yeah.
story, and then I can
Sure.
ask the
Okay.
question.
Okay. So her mother believed in only having 2 children, and mother had 2 children. The mother got, she had another pregnancy, the third one, and she went and had an abortion. So that child was gone. Now, the mother again got pregnant with my client, and somehow she tried aborting the child, but the child made it, and the client was there. So, through the process of constellation, it was clearly revealed that she is still carrying the trauma of being unwanted, number one. And in constellation, there is a concept of healing statements, and those healing statements are also channeled. They just come in the process. So in her process, I had this message, and I asked my client to say that, which was something like around the line of, "Mother, I am." So of course she was unwanted. So, "Mother, you didn't want me, and I'm trying to finish what you could not." Why does this happen? In constellation, it is always seen that each one of us are blindly loyal to our mothers and fathers and a family system. Even consciously, if we reject our parent, unconsciously, we are reliving stories of that parent who we reject all the time. So children are unconsciously, blindly loyal to their family systems and to their mother and father, even if consciously we reject or we keep that distance or whatever. So the healing statement in her case was, "Mother, I'm finishing what you could not," which is, it goes deep into the soul of her being. And whatever she was doing out of irrational behavior came to the surface. And we were, of course, able to deal with it. And immediately within 3 to 4 days, she messaged me that, "Shaista, I no longer have suicidal thoughts." And we also, so in constellation, one of the universal law says that everybody has a right to belong, right to exist. So when parents deny that right to belong to a child and abort it, so abortion is a huge concept that I work with in family constellation. So when a child is aborted, basically the parents violate the universal law. It's a law of the universe of the right to belong. So everyone has a right to belong. And when a parent does that, so in her process, we were able to also acknowledge the third child that was aborted, which means that when the fourth child, which is the client, was born, she was not only carrying the feelings of being unwanted or rejected, she was also carrying the guilt of having had a life when her third sibling could not. So she was carrying survivor's guilt, which is a deep guilt. Often people are unaware of it. In constellation, we work a lot with survivor's guilt. Okay. So the sibling was carrying the survivor's guilt, plus she was also carrying the trauma of having been rejected in the first place. So in one session, we were able to include that aborted sibling, right? And deal with the survivor's guilt. So there's all these processes that we do, how to deal with the guilt when it comes up, and also give a place. So of course, if one was aborted and three survived, the client is also not in her rightful position, which means that instead of referring to herself as the fourth child, she also refers herself as a third child. So in constellation, it is always seen, again, it's a universal law, that whoever has a right to belong also has a place. So the third child's place is also taken away from them and forgotten. So the third child is completely forgotten. And the fourth one is sort of carrying baggage, invisible baggage of two destinies, one for herself and one destiny which is of an excluded child and not remembered, forgotten, as if it never existed. So she was like not fully alive. Even if she felt alive, she wasn't fully alive and integrated. You get it? So we work with all these complex things, and only through constellation such subtle things come to the surface. I mean, I practice other modalities also, but I've never seen any of such, deep issues arising in any other form of modality. And that's why it's very important for every healer, every therapist and coach out there to understand universal laws, to understand how to work with family fields, systemic fields. So it's not just the family field I'm talking about, it's systemic fields like our cultural fields, our religious fields, and how we exclude one another. Okay. Um, yes, Aarti. Okay, I'll pause what I'm saying because I can go on and on. So Aarti, you had a question?
So my question was regarding the modules. You have like 4 modules. So I would like to just know how these 4 modules are structured and how and why they are modules. I mean, generally I prefer training, which is like one
No.
training and it's like done,
In constellation, it is not possible. It is a journey. Okay. I mean, it would have been easier for me to just say that, okay, let's, have a training of 5 days and, I give techniques. But it does not work that way because we are working with very subtle energies within constellation framework. Second is you have your own personal journey also through it. We work through, you cannot, so remember one thing, we can get a technique through NLP and through hypnotherapy and we bang on, we start doing. But in constellation, the technique is experienced through you first, which means you go through your inner stuff first, and then only you will be able to conduct a constellation. Otherwise, you will never be able to conduct a constellation. It is not like any other form of therapy where technique is, practiced and you can use more or less the same thing with other people. In constellation, it doesn't work like that because there are multiple topics, multiple subjects within constellation framework, and it cannot be force fed. Otherwise, you will feel so heavy that you will feel as if there's so much of surge and information coming to you and it's getting very overwhelming. You will not be able to hold all that together. That is why modules are there. That's why it's cut into, there are certain trainers who have 6 modules. It goes more than a year. So constellation journey is never like a shortcut. There's no shortcut to it, honestly speaking.
So how does it graduate into various modules from the first to fourth? How does it graduate? What does it
So I
involve?
have a structure. Of course, Aarti, I can't provide the whole structure right now, but there are fundamental things that you have to experience, you have to understand, and then I do assessments in every module also before you become a facilitator. There is a process that I have integrated in my trainings, which means I need to make sure that concepts are clear, practice is done right between the members, the participants, and a lot of assessment is also undertaken, which is very interesting. It's like you start really understanding the nuances of constellation work. So, I mean, of course, I can't give you the whole structure, but if you see the information I have shared, I've told everybody about the topics that I will cover, but there are so many other topics also that I've not really mentioned there. Okay. And it really also depends on the group that gets formed. There is always a theme within the group also that emerges in every module. Okay. So that is how it is. I hope this explains a little bit of, but I mean, the structure is there, but it's a very, very deep work that we dive deep into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other questions? And then I'll move forward. I want to talk about the orders of love, which I was referring as universal laws. Okay. So let's quickly understand universal laws. There are three fundamental orders of love that I talk about in family constellation trainings. The first one is the right to belong. Okay, what does this mean? It means that every person, every emotion, every incident, even if it was painful in our lineage, in our family history, has a place. When families forget major incidents, major events that happened in their history, and they don't want to talk about it, nobody talks about them. So maybe, for example, migration has happened. Okay, so 4 or 5 generations ago, if there was a migration and nobody talks about it, right, that still is having a ripple effect in the lineage. I'll give another example. If great grandfather or grandfather went to war and never came back, and grandmother stopped talking about that atrocity or that tragedy, and maybe there was no time to also grieve, so the descendants are going to carry such a grief. There will be another descendant down the line who will start grieving and having a fear, just like the example I gave you, a very irrational fear that, oh my God, I may end up like losing my husband, and what will happen if I lose my husband. So in such cases, the descendant is not just carrying the fear, but she's also carrying the grief of the grandmother, which the grandmother was not able to process, because obviously when such tragedies happen, people have no time to really sit and process that grief. It becomes more about survival in those moments, because maybe there is no support system. Maybe she has to provide for her children now, and she's young, can't even move on. Maybe there is no support behind her from her family. So the grandmother's unprocessed grief, I'm giving you an example, anybody's unprocessed grief of our ancestor is also what we carry unconsciously, and we are not even aware of it. Sometimes people are like, since childhood, I've always felt this sadness around me, right? And they don't know the why behind it. Whose sadness? So these traumas, they just don't heal themselves with the passage of time. Time does not heal anything, it actually multiplies the trauma. There is always a snowball effect that happens in family systems where past traumas, tragedies, difficult emotions such as guilt and shame, right, have not been dealt with. I've also seen in many cases, I've had these clients where if the parent's heart was broken due to any reason, broken heart by previous partner or by the father, by the mother, if there's a broken heartedness, descendants also inherit broken hearts. They were born with the energy of their hearts being already broken. And then when they become adults, they keep attracting partners who keep on doing the same. So the snowball effect is very real and very huge. And it's very important that we address them through constellation work. All right. So the first law I was talking about is the right to belong. And it says everyone has a place. For example, if there was a member in a family system whose orientation was different, right? They could not identify themselves as male or female. I'm giving you a very quick example, right? And they were shamed. Such a member who existed in the family was shamed, ostracized, excluded, forgotten, or pushed out of the family system. Another descendant, maybe a generation later, so sometimes a trauma skips one generation and it appears in the next one, may start feeling as if they don't love themselves, or if they're carrying a lot of shame, they don't. So I had this client case where a client was like, when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't like myself. I self-loathe. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror. And Shais, I don't know why. So in the constellation, what opened up was he was entangled. So there is a concept called entanglement that happens. And there are multiple ways of getting entangled in somebody's destiny from our family system. So he was entangled in the history, in the destiny of his uncle, maternal uncle, who was a gay and who died through suicide. People used to make fun of him. And the client, as a child, was quite close to him. And he remembers that everybody used to make fun of him. And he just committed suicide towards the end of his life. And he lived a lonely life, right? And when this person grows up, now he can't look at himself in the mirror. He doesn't love himself. He doesn't like himself. And he's unable to find the right partner. So his energies have been entangled with his uncles. Okay, so there are many ways how these, things can get manifested in our life, and we are not even aware of it. So whether alive or dead, so it does not mean whether that person, our ancestor, has passed on, and we think that it's over. The knowing field remembers what happened, and if the trauma cycle within our family system has not been closed, so trauma has a cycle of its own. And through constellation, we work with those cycles and close the loop of that trauma, which is perpetuating in the same way in the life of all the descendants. And it has become a pattern, a karmic baggage that everybody seems to be carrying and nobody is aware of it. Sometimes siblings can't connect with one another. There are these conflicts between siblings also. Where does this come from? How can we resolve that? Right? So through constellation, we of course do that. So right to belong, in the form of miscarriages, I talked about abortion, then a family secret. Nobody talks about that secret. In constellation, even those secrets emerge that are having a heavy effect on our present day life. Adoption is another huge topic that we work with. There are so many people whose mother, father were either adopted or there was some adoption that happened in the system. And because of that, there is a disbalance in the family system. And people are getting affected by that. And nobody knows that it is a cause. They can go and try and sort it out. Sure, Ms. Yan. Yeah. That's fine. No worries. And if you want, I can also share the recording later on. You can message me privately. Okay. So the right to belong is one of the, yeah, sure. So the right to belong is a first order. And of course, there are many, many subjects, many topics under that. And the second one is of the hierarchy and the order, which means that whoever comes first has that precedence, has that importance and priority, then who comes later. In this order, order of love, what is important to be understood is that our parents have a bigger place than us. There is a concept of parentification, which means that we become parents of our parents. Okay, so if there was a missing parent behind our parent in the form of death or separation or anything of that sort, so if a parent of a parent was missing, we can become parentified for our parent, which means we can go into the caretaker role for our parent. So through constellation, we work with that. And hierarchy as an order of love, as a universal order, gets violated when we become the caretaker of our parents. It's a very, very common phenomenon I've seen in my practice. Many people feel obligated. And also sometimes they feel that guilt if they're not able to take care of their parents. So that order needs to be really respected. I mean, of course, it's a huge topic, but I'm just going very quickly with that, and then we'll do a small mini process also. And the third one is the balance of giving and receiving, which is again not understood or much talked about. What does this mean? I'll give you a quick example that if a woman is used to overgiving in her relationships, in her partnerships, she's an overgiver. The husband is receiving a lot of it. So there is a disbalance between the relationship. And in no way that woman will feel free in that connection. She will probably start feeling bitter or resentful after a period of time. And she will not know why this is happening. Oh, I love my husband a lot. I take care of him a lot. I do this, I do that, da da da. But something about the relationship is off. So we have to see what kind of a relationship it is. Oftentimes I've seen in my sessions that maybe the person who is overgiving was also parentified in their childhood. So maybe they were the caretaker of their parents. And now they have learned to overgive to their partner also. So they go into the role of a mother for the partner. They are in the energy of being a mother to their partner. And the partner is probably carrying a wound of their childhood where they are also seeking a mother in a relationship. So this happens so unconsciously, and people are not really aware of these dynamics. through constellation. So there are different ways we do constellation. We do it with puppets, we do it with paper, we do it with live people, like people are there and we work with that as representative. I also do constellation in the mind. So there are different ways and techniques that I teach to my students to take away and integrate it in their practice. Okay, any questions? I know I was a little hush with this because of the timing. Any questions? And then probably we can do a very small process so that you have a very small idea about it and probably some healing around it as well. Any questions, guys? No questions? Okay. Okay, guys, let's do a 5 minutes, very small, brief process. So I want you to leave all your notes on one side and just close your eyes. And it's a very, very small experience that I want you to have. And let me add something to it. We do a lot of body work also in constellations. So a lot of mind, body work is also integrated. Okay, just close your eyes. And at this moment, I want you to really explore what's happening inside of you. And this is not a relaxation meditation that I'm doing. It's a mini process. So I'm not going to be relaxing you at all. Probably it's going to be the opposite. So just be with yourself in your mind. And I want you to very gently allow the energy of your mother to appear in your mind's eye. Very gently. Allow the energy of your mother to appear in your mind's eye. And the moment I said that, what happened to you in your body? What was the first sensation that your body felt the moment I said, allow your mother to appear in your mind's eye? What was the first thing, first feeling, or a physical sensation that came up for you when I said that? Please note it down in your mind. Make a note of it. Note what's happening in your body the moment I asked you to bring in the energy of your mother. And then very gently, I want you to look at your mother. Where is she in your mind's eye? Is she too close or is she far? Is she on the left or is she on the right side? At the moment, you're just noting it down. Take a moment to observe what's happening when you are looking at your mother. And how do you feel it in your body? Is it a comfortable feeling? Or there is some level of discomfort or tightness when you're looking at your mother? And wherever you are in your mind's eye, very gently, I want you to take one step towards your mother, just one step towards your mother. Immediately, what happens when you do that? Are you able to take that first step towards your mother? Or is there a resistance? Is it easy for you to take that one step towards your mother? Or you are experiencing something of a discomfort? There is some hesitation. And what is the feeling that is coming up? Were you able to take that step or were you not able to take that step? Was it easy, smooth, comfortable? Or is there anything else happening to you? You can note that down in your mind because we are just exploring right now. How is your body reacting to it? Try getting more closer. See if you're able to do that. And at the same time, I want you to see what's happening to your mother when you are looking at her. What is her response? Look into her eyes and see what is it that she too is experiencing when you are looking at her. Is she looking at you or is she not looking at you? Where is her focus? And how do you feel about that? Is she focused on you? Just note that down. If any feeling arises, make a note of it. If it's a difficult feeling, find the courage to look at it. Perhaps take a deep breath to let it out. If any uncomfortable feeling or emotion or sensation arise, take a deep breath and let it out. Because you are only exploring right now. Yeah. Allow yourself to observe the relationship between you and your mother. And very gently, try and take one or two more steps towards her. If her focus is not on you, then how do you feel about it? Is she fully there with you in your mind's eye, or she's distracted? Very gently, I want you to also observe how much of attention, unconditional love is coming to you from her, like a percentage. So out of 100%, how much of that is coming to you from her? Support, unconditional love, presence, emotional attunement. How much of all that is coming to you? What is the first percentage that comes to your mind that you are receiving from your mother? And how does that make you feel? What is that one thing you have never been able to say to your mother? What is that one thing, one word, one statement, one self-expression that is inside of you which needs to be released today? Can you say that to your mother? Or is there any hesitation? Keep observing, keep noting down, and see how your body is feeling. Is there a lot of discomfort of some sort? And maybe just look into her eyes and slightly look behind your mother. What is behind your mother? Just take a glance behind her, behind her shoulder, and see what was she carrying. Because of that, she wasn't probably able to give you her full presence, full attention, unconditional love. Somehow she wasn't fully attuned to you emotionally or physically. So very gently look behind your mother and see what was that invisible baggage. Something that you have never been able to look at before, even if it's uncomfortable. See what was that. And if something arises, I want you to very gently say this statement. I see you now. Mom, mother, mama, whatever you call your mother. Say that to her. I see that now. Because of that, so whatever was behind her, because of that, Mom, you were not able to see me fully. Because of that, you were not able to hear me fully, see me fully, accept me fully. I see that now. And see how you feel when you express that. I see that now. And I see you, Mom, with what you were also carrying that didn't allow you to connect with me unconditionally. Take a note of what happens to you when you say that, when you express that. And what happens to your mother when you do that also? What changed in your mother when you accepted, when you said that to her? Is there any shift between the two of you? Very gently, I want you to observe if there is any shift between the two of you or inside of you. How is your body feeling when you express that? I see you, Mom, with what you were carrying. And it affected our bond. I see that now. You are the big one. Just one statement. You are the big one, Mom. I'm the little one. And I see you now. Note if there is any change, any insight, how your body is feeling. And very gently, you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Yeah. Yeah, that was just a very small mini process I wanted you all to experience. So if anybody wants to share anything, like one or two statements before I leave you to continue with the process, because it's like a small activation also. You may feel something after this, whatever that is. So if somebody wants to share, please feel free. I give you 1 or 2 minutes. Guys, anybody wants to share anything? Any insight? Any discomfort? This process was not for relaxation, it is for discomfort. Yeah, Tina.
I think when we first started the process,
Hmm.
I think for the first time I could feel what I actually feel for my mother,
Hmm. Hmm.
and and what I've been or what I experience most of the time,
Hmm.
I think is her feeling towards me.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Wow.
And and I
Okay.
also felt like I'm the bigger one. In the earlier part of it, I did feel like I'm stronger than her and I'm sort of the bigger one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very common theme. And that's why I felt like, okay, let me tell all the girls, please say that I'm the little one, you're the bigger one. I don't know, I just had a knowing that it was important for
Yeah.
some of you to acknowledge your smallness. Because as we grow big, we sort of create those judgments around our parents because of their lack of parenting or whatever. And we assume the bigger role that I can deal with this, or I know better, or I am the bigger one, I can do this. So we create that stance, but no matter, guys, just remember one word. No matter where we are in our age, even if we are in our 40s or 30s or 50s or 60s, the dynamic between us and our parents remains the same. We remain small, they remain big. That's the order of hierarchy I was talking about. It's a universal law. And when we try to reverse that law, we pay a very, very huge price for it. Of course, that is all the topic I take under in my trainings, but it's a huge cost around it. The cost could be around our relationships. Okay, the cost can be in our health also, and how we relate to our children after that. Even in our workplace, even in our money reality, the same cost comes up and we are not aware of it. And that is why I think there's a huge sense of responsibility inside of myself to be able to make people aware of these things. The more the merrier, because the world needs to know what violations have happened in our personal space and with by our ancestors, and we are paying a price for it, and the wisdom is not there. So family constellation provides that lost wisdom so that we start aligning ourselves with the universal laws. You understand what I'm
Can
saying?
I just add one thing?
Sure, sure.
So I've done a few. I've attended a few family constellations as a
Mm,
as a volunteer, basically
mm,
for other people,
mm.
and I honestly find it very cathartic and also a lot of fun
Yes,
because I feel like, you know, I'm gonna just inject a little humor into this, but I
no
feel
worries.
like my family is not the only crazy one. Everyone's family
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
equally
yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You said exactly what I always believe in, that when we collectively work in a group and we see how sometimes we feel that we are alone in our journey. Nobody gets it.
Yeah.
But in these trainings, a group is formed universally, which aligns with what your family history or your personal history has been, and you're able to let
Yeah.
go of that baggage you are carrying all your life. Maybe a lot of self-shame is there, a lot of judgments are there. Oh my God, it's a deep topic, and obviously it's lovely to be aware of that and take it
Yeah.
forward. Thank you so much, Tina. I loved your
You're
response.
welcome.
Yes, Rachna. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes, guys. I know it went little few minutes on top of that. Yes, Rachna, tell me.
Hi. Yeah,
Hi.
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 So for me, it was like when you said that visualize your mom, it was like a video call for me. It was
Mm,
not that she was close to me.
mm,
And I was very happy with that thing that, okay, even if I have to go closer, it's a video call. So I'm not very close. You
really?
know, it
Okay.
was like that.
Uh-huh.
And I was happy with the distance between us.
Okay.
So even if you said go closer, I know that there is a limitation to which I can go
Yes.
close.
So, Rachna, that's a work for you. I mean, I can see through it now. Of course, I'm not going to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it, but there is
Yes, yes.
work there, huh? Honestly.
Yes,
And
yes. No,
remember,
I've already worked on this. That's why whatever you said that, what feeling,
uh,
because since last 1 year, anyways, I've been working on
yeah,
this
yeah.
thing. And now it's like I've reached a stage that, I have understood her side of this story, whatever she has gone through,
Mm,
and I'm totally compassionate about it.
mm.
But I don't want to carry her baggage with me for
Yes,
sure.
yes,
Okay, so I understand her pain is hers and she has to deal with it, and it has nothing to do with
absolutely.
me. So, which part I understand, and that's why. Again, I had the image that because every time I would speak to her on the phone or something like that, she's never paying attention to what I'm saying. It's always about her story, her problems, her
Yeah,
issues. So
yeah,
I saw the same image and I was indifferent. So, which made me feel that, okay, yes, that's fine because I know where she's coming from and what
yeah,
she's gone through.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I had that compassionate feeling for her, that
yeah.
thing that, okay, this is something that she has to work on. I
But
try to
but
speak to.
but
Hmm,
Rachna, from where I look at it, there is still some
hmm,
work needed because your body physically has not fully
yeah,
received the mothering
yes,
that is needed.
mothering, yes, yes.
Okay, so the
Yes,
moment you
and
get,
which, yeah, in the physical world also, I have tried to explain to her what I'm expecting and what is this. But obviously, she feels that she's doing her best, and which is fine. I'm
yeah,
compassionate about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I understand
But
where
it
she's
shifts,
coming
huh?
also from.
So
Yes,
Rachna, through
yes,
constellation, when we work at what
yes,
your mother is also carrying,
yes, yes.
so you will not have to explain any of this to her in 3D because some shift will actually happen through the process
Happen.
that you are
Yes.
doing.
Yes, yes, yes. And even with whatever healing I've done now in the last 1 year, there is a lot of shift that has
Yeah,
already happened,
yeah, yeah.
wherein, she
Amazing.
kind of like acknowledges what I
Yeah.
do, and because even healing work, when I talk to her, she always like, हाँ ये सब लोग उल्लू ही बनाते
Okay, okay.
Yeah, which
Oh,
I'm like, okay, fine, but that's not what I think, and
of
I want to
course.
pursue.
Of
Yeah, yeah,
course, of
exactly.
course. Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, it was fine, and then towards the end, I saw that when you said look at her burden and see what is it,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that she was crying a lot out of
Okay.
guilt for herself,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
that she was not there, and when you said that I'm little and you're big, when I
Mm-hmm.
said those things, so she was just crying and kind of like
Yeah, which means there is
having
some
that.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
yes,
story of her
yes.
own also. Maybe.
Yes, yes, yes. She has been a widow at the age of
Ah,
35, and she's brought all of us up. So obviously she's had a very rough
yeah.
this, so which I'm really compassionate about,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Rachna. Yes,
Thank you.
Rumi, Jyoti, Gitanjali, you guys want to share anything? Maybe a minute. How was the process? Did it brought up something for you?
Well, I was very uncomfortable, so I
Mm.
just opened my eyes. I couldn't go on
Yeah, yeah.
in the initial minute itself, so
Okay.
I can't explain anything further from
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. But I mean, it clearly there is work around it
I
because
was feeling nauseated. I don't know why.
oh, so looks like a birth trauma to me, Jyoti. Birth trauma.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So, which
Mm-hmm.
means if you don't work on that, it will have an effect on many aspects of your life. In fact, all aspects of your life. Birth trauma is a huge topic in constellation. And unless and until we don't deal with it, our life is, I mean, I don't want to say that word, but I mean, it's not sorted in
Mm.
terms of
Okay.
relationship, money, health, children. I mean, yeah, it goes in many directions. We actually keep on repeating that movie where we are stuck.
Mm.
Okay, so in
Okay.
constellation, it reveals what happened, where is the origin of the problem. Because clearly, if a person is disconnected from the mother, they're also disconnected from the abundance and
Mm-hmm.
disconnected from life itself. Thank you, Rachna.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a complete disconnection. Once there is a disconnection with the mother, that is why healing around it is very important. I'm not saying that our mothers will change. They do change also. I've seen that happening. But you working on your inner self, what you have received from their mother, what you have not received from your mother, and what was it? Thank you so much. And what is it that you still need and you're not aware of it? We can intellectualize it all our life, but it brings nothing. It's
Mm.
yeah. So find the
Mm.
courage to, Jyoti, look at it. My sincere advice to you. It will completely transform your life from there on. Yes, Rumi.
Okay. We'll
Yeah,
see.
note that down. You have my number if you want any more advice. I mean, I'm there. Guys, I'm also building a community where I will be conducting regular free sessions of value. All right. So free sessions will be there. Different topics I will introduce. And yeah, so my team is giving you, what is this? Yeah, so they're giving that link to you. So I will also share that on the WhatsApp. And guys, you can join that. There will be a lot of stuff that I plan to do, and it will really bring value to you in your life. Different things that I do. I do workshops, theme based. There are many things that will benefit you from there onwards. And whoever has joined, I mean, I know some of them have left, but whoever joined this mini class will also get an extra discount on my trainings. Special discounts, 10% on the early bird. All right. So think about that. There's a 10% discount on the early bird as well. Whoever is interested to start off with this beautiful journey of transformation, you can message me. And I will also send you the link to my community. And yeah, we all need that support for sure. Anybody wants to share anything? Otherwise, I'll call it a day then.
I
Gita?
mean,
Yeah, sure. Please go.
luckily for me, it was nice. I had like a
I was looking at
tiny
you.
smile when
Huh? What?
I had a tiny smile on my face
Yeah, I
when
was looking
she.
at you. Yeah.
So yeah, but also I felt what somebody else, I think Tina felt, that
Hmm.
at one point
Hmm.
I felt like, oh, I am the mother for a
Oh,
very little while.
okay.
And then I was like, okay, When I went closer to her,
Hmm.
also first step was easy, second step was not that easy. But
Hmm.
then I'm like, okay, let's go ahead. And then I was finally able to hug her also.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, so it was a nice start, and then it went a little bumpy, and then
Yeah,
overall,
yeah,
then
yeah.
I don't know. Nowadays, I maybe because of meditations or something, I just kind of then go into a very
Trance.
unconscious kind of
Yeah,
a
I was looking
process,
at you because
trance.
you were dozing off, and I was like, have
Yeah.
I put her to sleep? Even though my
No, but this is
that was not
me
my
these
idea.
days.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, after a point nowadays, because a lot of meditations and
Yeah,
other processes.
you go
So
deep.
I kind of then lost you
Very good.
afterwards. Then I leave it to my unconscious mind to process whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. That's good enough because it anyways goes. No issues.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will also share the recording so you can see wherever you dozed off and you can continue.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was really happy to see that when she arrived, I was able to smile,
Yeah.
because this has been like a very longish healing journey for me.
Yeah.
And as you said, like I have experienced mothers changing. Like
Hmm.
my mother changed after I changed, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
was a phase where, it was not happening, but we were okay, like neutral.
Hmm.
And now it changed so much so that, it's a very
Better. I mean, there is a
lovable
better
no,
balance.
not just better, now it's very lovable, cordial, and
Wow.
all of that.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gitanjali, for sharing that. Rumi, say something and then I'll let you all go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't sign off.
Uh, yes, when I started, I had a very good feeling when I saw her, and slowly when I was going near to her, then after some time I started feeling some discomfort.
Hmm.
But then when I move more ahead, then like when she started expressing and I started expressing, and then I was fine actually.
Okay.
But there was a discomfort in between.
There was a discomfort.
After
Okay.
some time, it went off well. Like there was understanding. Like okay, fine. I was clear in everything, and I became normal. This
Good.
was what I
And how are you feeling now after that?
very good.
Very good. Okay. So whatever the discomfort was, maybe your body processed it and it
Maybe,
acknowledged it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because what
yes,
also
yes.
happens is that either we are very far from the mother to begin with, or either we are merged with the mother. We are so much
Yeah,
merged
yeah.
with the mother that her stuff becomes our stuff. Her unprocessed
Yes.
feelings.
I
Okay.
think yeah, that's what happened to me. I think
So
I
I've
that's
had
think
the
what.
same.
also the resistance, if I may just in
Sure,
between,
sure, sure.
the resistance in between also happened because of the constant story that we tend to tell, things in between were not okay. So, okay, you have to. So, that
Yeah.
conscious storytelling also
Logical mind.
creeps
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
yes.
that can come
Possible.
in. But it through constellation, what we also work with is create your own identity. If a child is too much merged, I was. So I mean, there is a whole experience that I can share later on. But I was too merged with my mother right from the beginning, and I thought before constellation happened that I'm in a good space. I'm a good child. I get along with my mother and father, and all my siblings were like, oh, she gets more attention. But later on, I realized I was having arthritis, physical pains and ailments, inflammation, just like my mother. Her emotional atmosphere has become my emotional atmosphere. Her way of thinking has become. So I was so merged with her, thinking it's a healthy relationship, but it wasn't because I wasn't able to create my own identity away from her. So there are all these different themes that we work with, and it really helps you to offer the same to your clients, right? Because immediately you will see, oh, this person is merged with the mother. This person is in this role, and it needs to be segregated. The child needs to individuate. Okay,
I
so
have one question though.
sure.
Like, I don't know how much time you have. You can just say
I
no,
mean,
no to
I
answering it.
can take 1 or 2 more minutes, no issues. Go ahead.
So now what I am experiencing is, when you said that hierarchy, or like they have
Yeah,
seniority over us.
yeah, yeah.
So what I'm experiencing in my conscious life
Hmm.
is whatever she says, I kind of have to very consciously tell myself, oh, I don't have to live like that. Like, for example, when I started my business, she was like, okay, do this on the side, but don't do it as a main thing. Keep your full-time job.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep your,
yeah.
or even like, when something or the other happens, I
Hmm.
feel like until and unless I have followed whatever she says, whether I
Oh,
consciously like it or not, like, I
yeah.
kind of take it as her
Yes,
command
yes.
becomes like,
And if
your
you
wish is my
don't,
command.
so Gitanjali, if you don't, then also there is something that comes up. It's like a guilt that comes up. So in constellation, we work with conscience also. Conscience means, yeah, your personal right and wrong versus your family's right and wrong. And when we don't go by what the family believes in and we do something for ourselves, right? What happens as a result of how we sabotage our own growth? Because
Yeah, so
it has
I
a,
mean, I did start my business finally, but it was a very, very
yeah,
much a conflict, and that
yes.
I had to like come out of it and say, and actually, if I
Hmm.
talk to her,
Hmm.
she doesn't say it with that potency or
Hmm.
that insisting or anything.
Hmm.
She just says it, but whatever she says, somehow my brain just like it just directly
Registers.
goes.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
have to, and even though I have worked on this my mother relationship for the longest time,
There
every
could
time
be.
I do a process somewhere or the other, it boils down to the same
Yes,
thing.
yes, because it's not resolved fully, right? There is a
Yeah,
part of you that is still merged with the mother and her approval. That's how I
yeah,
see.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it has
I
not
feel same.
separated. Yeah,
I
so
feel
there will
same.
always be an inner clash between your adult mind or adult presence versus that part of you. So unless we
Yeah.
don't do some work around it, there will always be a hook to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got
Right?
it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for attending, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
See you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.